Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our 5th Google for Startups Accelerator Black Founder Demo Day. We are about to start the transmission in just about 3 minutes. But let's get excited. Please have a seat. It's going to be an amazing presentations. We have 13 companies ready to go. We'll have a keynote in the midpoint during this demo day. We'll host a fireside chat. It's going to be a great session. So thank you for being here. And we'll start the official demo day in a few minutes. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. I see people trickling in. Please come in, grab a seat. We are ready to start rolling. Everyone ready? Are you excited? Thank you. I'm excited too. And perfect. So let's start the transmission whenever you're ready, and it's going to be great. We have 2 more minutes to go, and some excitement. Are you ready for the dancing part? We have no. Yes, I have to tell a couple of jokes. No, I'm really bad at jokes. I will not do that. But thank you. That was a good. It's been a fun 10 weeks, by the way. So super happy to be here and to have you all joining us. It was a weird, rainy day. I was not expecting that, so we had some accidents in the way here, but it was a fun day. Okay, 1 more minute. We are getting ready. Making some time. We have 2 demo days back to back. I hope you can stay for both of them. We'll have some food in between for the people here in the room, and also a happy hour at the end of the second demo day. So stick around. It's going to be a full day, but it's really, really amazing to see what they all have done, and I'm really happy about it. Perfect. And we are ready to roll. Please welcome everyone to our 5th. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome everyone to our 5th Google for Startups Accelerator Black Founders Demo Day. We are excited to have you here, both in person and for all the people virtually. Welcome, and I'm Paco Solsona, your host and program lead. Today, before we start these presentations and all of the exciting demos we have for you, I'd like to welcome Naveen Nigam, our head of developer ecosystem in the Americas, for a quick keynote.
Awesome. Thank you. What an awesome crowd. You guys know, bring it. I love it. Thank you for having me. As mentioned, my name is Naveen Nigam. I'm the head of developer relations for Americas. That means I look after Startups Accelerator efforts, a lot of our Google developer programs for different developer communities across both North America and South America. But that doesn't tell you anything about me. All right, so who am I? I'm a father of 2 rambunctious boys who are impatiently waiting for me to get back because they're ready to go to the cottage this weekend, so I'm also excited for that. I've been married for 14 years and live in Toronto, up north Canada. But from here, an hour. But Canadians? There we go. I was at BlackBerry for about a decade. I forgive you if you don't know who or what they are. I get it. I understand. Yeah, there we go. BlackBerry Messenger. Been at Google for close to a decade as well. And I joined Google on the Google Play team. I was leading the policy efforts. And in 2017, I joined developer ecosystem. And truly, while I'm an engineer by education, I've always been so interested in communities and helping people. And when I say helping people, it's all about empowering people. And so being kind of on this developer ecosystem side, where we're working with developers, we're working with amazing founders and truly making a difference and empowering them, that's the perfect segue into what we're trying to do with accelerators. And so when we look at our accelerator program, it's all about empowering amazing founders who are truly tackling some of the most complicated challenges that are out there. And so since 2016, when we kicked off this program, we've been a global innovation leader. Global innovator, talk about tooting our own horn. Global innovation leader for a lot of startups. A force for good in local economies and local ecosystems, and then really a champion of tech ecosystems. And so one of the things that people ask, okay, well, what's the value you're bringing? What we truly do is we package together the amazing people, the technology, and the network into something that we can share with our founders, with the various communities, and make sure to help further empower them, but also get them connected and really figure out what is it that they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so when we look at Google's best practices and what we're looking to do in the industry, it's bringing all of that back and packaging it to our founders. Now, 2024, big year. As you can see here, we are launching 19 accelerators and very specific challenges. Climate change, circular economy, some are region-specific, country-specific, but they all have this common thread of harnessing the power of AI. And this is what really impresses me, really how you are all working to maximize and optimize what you do with AI. And so in the last few days, I've been meeting a lot of folks, meeting a lot of the founders, and there's one question that someone asked, and I thought, hey, you know what, this is going to be really good to share with everyone. And they asked me, hey, you meet all these cool founders, you meet all these cool startups, what is it that excites you? What is it that really blows you away? And for me, first of all, you all are doing absolutely amazing things. Like everything is wow and blows you away. But I think about my kids. I go back to thinking about my kids and I think about what's going to wow them. I mean, what wowed me was when I could pick up the phone at home and the internet stayed on. That was a game changer for me, right? That was huge for me. And so, but my kids, they'll sit in a self-driving car, they're getting picked up, there's no driver, and they're like, meh. No biggie. But the reality is they are going to be wowed. And that's the power with AI. Like we're truly, with all the amazing things that everyone's working on, you're kind of scratching the surface. All the conversations I had with some of the amazing founders, they all circled around the theme of like, hey, this is what we're doing right now, but here's our plan. Look at all these cool things we're looking to do in the future. And that's what excites me, that we don't even know how cool this is going to be, how big this is going to be. And you think about my kids, 5 and 7, when they are wowed, when they, as they're, I think 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, what's going to be wowing them, you're all at the frontier of doing exactly that. And so for that, thank you. Let's start with that. A huge thank you. Now, with our accelerator, again, since 2016, over 1,500 startups. I'm really, it's impressive to look at the survival rate when the industry standard is about 20%, that through our program it's 96%, but that's not even what impresses me the most. When we look at, 20 unicorns out of this portfolio, the fact that we've created over 100,000 jobs, these startups have gone and expanded and created 100,000 jobs. That's impressive. In North America, we only started in 2020. And the last 4 years, you can see the numbers there. No easy feat. When Google decided to run the accelerator program in North America, one of the things that we were worried about is like, hey, it's a bit of a saturated market. How do we make sure we fit? And how do we make sure we make a difference? By being a tech accelerator, helping people with the technology, bringing the right people, the right mentorship, the right resources to help with the technology and overcome barriers on the technology side has been massive. And we've seen great success with that. And again, a testament to all the amazing founders that we're all going to hear from in just a little bit. Now, you don't want to hear from me. You really don't want, you're not here to hear from me. You're here to listen to the amazing founders. So with that, a huge thank you and a good luck. It's my privilege to kick off the demo day. So with that, let's get right to it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Naveen. So hello again, and welcome to the 5th Google for Startups Accelerator Black Founders Demo Day. I'm so thrilled to be co-hosting this amazing event with Iran.
Hello, everyone. My name is Iran Karimian. I'm the head of our startup and accelerator efforts in Canada, and I'm so excited to be co-hosting this event with all of you here. We are live in New York.
Yes, and you know what? Starting a company is tough. It takes grit, vision, and relentless execution. It can be exhilarating, yet lonely journey. Underestimated founders face even higher hurdles. In the US, Black founders receive a mere 1% of venture capital, and that number is shrinking. At Google, we're committed to leveling the playing field through the power of technology, as Naveen already mentioned.
Awesome. So back in December, we opened applications for the Black Founders cohort, where we strive to bring the best of Google through our programs, people, products, and of course, technology. So from hundreds and hundreds of applicants, we selected the amazing 13 founders that you're all going to hear from today. And we're just so excited to get started with them. It's been an absolute honor working with each and every one of them. So today's a celebration of all that they've accomplished so far, where they're going next. And in a moment, you'll get to hear from all 13.
So each founder, talking about this demo day, will have 3 minutes to present, followed by one question from the audience. These questions were submitted by you in advance, but if you have more questions during the presentations, please shoot them online, and the teams will try to get at you and answer them after their presentations. A member of our team will read the questions live here, so we'll take a break. Midway through, we'll take a break from presentations to do a quick fireside chat with Kisa Matene, Director of Startups of AI Business within Google Cloud here at Google. And with that, first up, it is my pleasure to introduce Brian Alvarez-Bailey and Jerome Dishman, co-founders of Allison, an AI-powered operating system for community banks and credit unions.
Give it up! Woo!
Good morning, everyone. Morning. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jerome Dishman. I'm the COO and co-founder of Allison. Today, I'm thrilled to present how Allison is helping community banks using artificial intelligence. I would like to introduce my partner and co-founder, Brian Alvarez-Bailey, to tell you a short story.
So don't everybody get all sentimental. This was me many, many moons ago, and that's my mom. My mom and my father were able to secure a home for us, which is what you see in that picture, by working with a community bank. This community bank allowed us to live, work, play, and ultimately my parents were able to sell that home and use those proceeds to send their children to college, which includes me. But let's fast forward to today. Community banks need to play that same role in that they support their local geographies, not only enabling small businesses to succeed through loans, also enabling underestimated populations to succeed and thrive, as well as send the next generation to college, just like it did for me. But they're facing some pretty mighty problems. Unfortunately, due to outdated technologies, the rising the rising boogeyman in risk and fraud, which is changing every single day, this is causing these very same banks the inability to maintain their revenue and grow new revenue streams. In fact, in the next decade, community banking will look starkly different if we don't do something about it today. But this is why we're here. My partner and I worked with pilot bank customers to create Allison. Allison is an all-in-one dashboard that allows the average community bank to run nearly 90% of their operations without ever doing anything active. Ultimately, we wanted to put the power back in the hands of the community bank, and we believe that we built the right platform to do so.
And there's a huge market opportunity. With 35,000 plus community banks and financial institutions in America to sell to, we know that it's a multi-billion-dollar market size.
And with that, let's talk about how we truly succeed. We have an edge over our competition because we're not tied down by legacy banking systems. Through our partnership with Google, we've worked with some of the greatest minds in the industry to create artificial intelligent algorithms and applications that allow our banks to run all of their operations directly from our platform. This means that they're able to grow their revenue, they're able to onboard new customers, and provide those financial products that are critical to everyday life in America. And this has allowed us to grow rapidly over the last 6 months. Obviously, we're super appreciative to the folks at the Google for Startups program for allowing us to be a part of the cohort. Ultimately, that's allowed us to sign on one of the largest gaming and gambling banking institutions in the US, in GBank. We're revenue positive. We've secured our first financial investment in our lead investor. And shout out to them being here today, we signed Sika Cash this week based out of Harlem. They are one of the largest African-based remittance companies in America serving financial products. But the true talent and the true expertise is in our team. Jerome and I put together a group of folks that really know how to build financial products because we built one and we sold it 3 years ago. We know the banking industry and we know what it takes to succeed here, and so that's why we built together Allison. But we won't be able to do it alone. So our ask here today is we want you all to help us come join and revolutionize community banking. We're raising. Come see us after this and learn more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Brian and Jerome. And thank you for kicking us off. A round of applause for our first company of the day. Thank you. A question for you both from our audience. What are the regulatory implications of Allison working with banks and fintech companies?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. So Jerome and I were a part of a fintech company that we sold 3 years ago called Payment Approved. They were a compliance software company that enabled banks to make sure that all of their licensure and all of the necessary statutes that they had to meet for the federal government were in check. And so that's our background, right? Like, we know what the federal government wants in terms of the items that a community bank has to have. And so armed with that knowledge, we bake that into Allison. So not only are they able to run their operations, but they're able to do it on the right side of the government.
Amazing. Thank you both again. Another round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take it. All right. Amazing presentation. Thank you so much, Allison team. So next up, we're going to hear from Devin Drew, CEO of AssetLink, a data service company using AI to connect asset managers, wealth managers, and accredited investors. So let's hear it for Devin.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. My name is Devon Drew, founder and CEO of AssetLink. I do have a question for everyone. How many people has ever been in sales before? Raise a hand. Okay. Well, prior to AssetLink, I was actually an investment sales professional for 17 years. And in the 17 years, I know one thing. It is hyper competitive. I mean, can you imagine waking up every morning selling into a $100 trillion industry when the difference between wins and losses equals billions of dollars to your company's bottom line? And to make it worse, the people you're trying to sell to want nothing to do with you. In fact, they spent just 10% of their time doing investment research. But you know what? Investment firms are smart, right? I mean, Wall Street. They spend $84 billion a year on data and technology to try to target the right investor. Now, based off our research, a lot of those current solutions are outdated and antiquated. But with that said, the spend for AI by 2027 is supposed to reach over $100 billion, right? And that's just in 3 years, which is why we created AssetLink. Now, AssetLink is the first of its kind client relationship intelligence tool that allows investment firms to gain a deeper insights to the clients and prospective clients at scale. Our value fills a major need in the industry. We use our proprietary first-party data to enrich an investment firm's CRM system for actionable insights at the point of sale. Our patented AI allows us to create operational efficiency of data via directly into an investment firm's already existing technology infrastructure. At AssetLink, we are solving that last mile issue with sales enablement, which is proclivity to purchase. Who wants what you're selling? When do they want it? When's the best way to engage with them? The best way to think of AssetLink is that connective tissue that unlocks the power of investment firms' data. Now, product market fit, you bet your ass. We work with over 125 of the largest investment firms in the world, and the product validation is with 4 names that we're seeing here, including one that we're about to announce soon, maybe by the end of this. And within that, we work with trillions of dollars of investment firms, helping them save time, save money, and save headcount. Now, our pricing isn't for the meek. We are for investment firms that want to have a distinct competitive advantage, not yesterday, but today. But if you think about our average contract value of $500,000, that's the cost of one investment sales professional. Projections, I purposely put this here, it's a little outdated. We're 5 months in and we have blown through this. And I'm happy to stand here and say we've reached $5 million in ARR. At this pace, we will be that 21st unicorn in Google's Accelerator. All by 2029, we're projected to do over $100 million in ARR. Now, with big pockets comes big competitors. And you know what? We've seen a couple come into the space, right? We've seen Microsoft. Who are they? Microsoft, right? We've seen Salesforce, and we've seen already existing incumbents that have raised a ton of money like Tiffin. But you know what? With our 2 AI patents, a 3-year head start, and 125 of the largest investment managers and our network effect, we have a defensible moat around our business the size of the Googleplex. Now, when you start talking about patents, we were the first AI patent that allowed us to create system independent knowledge by the use of AI, ML, within an already independent structure, which means if Salesforce wants to come in and they want to put in data unification, data hydration into their own system, they got to come to us. Microsoft, you guys want to come and you guys want to put Copilot and you want to hydrate all of your clients' data, you want to go to Vanguard and you say, hey, we can offer this for you? That's fine. You got to come to us. We're ready. As far as the team, this is the Get Stuff Done team. I'm a 17-year Wall Street veteran, worked for firms like JP Morgan, firms like Vanguard, firms like Merrill Lynch. Within that span, I've raised over $30 billion. I'm a subject matter expert. My partner puts me to shame. This gentleman has an advanced master's degree in convolutional neural networks. Does anyone even know what that means? I don't. I mean, he's ex-Spotify. He's ex-WeWork. He's ex-PayPal. He's worked at some of the top firms on the technology side in the world. So what happens when you have a 17-year Wall Street veteran with one of the top engineers in the world? You have AssetLink. Now, I'm standing in front of you with an opportunity. Starting Q4, we will open up our coveted Series A funding. We'll be raising $10.5 million, which I think is very conservative. For that, we look for people with fire in their belly on the AI, data, and infrastructure engineering team, and a Navy SEALs of sales. Our other ask, if anyone in this room has relationships with some of the top asset and wealth management firms that want a distinct competitive advantage, that want to save time, save money, and save headcount, we should have a conversation. Now, my contact information is here. Please, thank you for the time and consideration. My name is Devon Drew, founder and CEO of AssetLink. Thank you. Oh, I'd like to open it up for questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Devon. Brought the energy and such a tremendous amount of traction for the team. So tremendous congratulations. A question from the audience. You talked a bit about the opportunity, but who amongst this large industry is your ideal client and why?
Right, so our ideal client is a multi-trillion-dollar asset or wealth management firm that wants that distinct advantage, that wants to empower their sales professionals with point-of-sale actionable intelligence already embedded in their CRM or infrastructure.
Amazing. Thank you again.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Well done, Devon. Thank you. With that, up next, I'm excited to introduce you to Joy, CEO of Locum, an app designed to give employers of medical specialists direct access to the staff they need. Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hi, my name is Dr. Ayade Ademiowo. I'm a nurse anesthetist and also founder and CEO of Locum, which came to life when a hospital that I worked for told me that they were spending in excess of $50 an hour above my pay to recruitment agencies to get medical specialists like me. Healthcare is the largest economy in the United States. The reason that hospitals are willing to pay these astronomical fees is because there's a massive staffing shortage. I'm sure you've heard of it. 88% of hospitals in the United States are desperately reliant on recruitment agencies to acquire clinical staff. It's even worse when it comes to specialists. That incentivizes recruitment agencies to use underhanded tactics to present and acquire specialists like myself. This is where Locum app comes in. It leverages technology to give those employers the direct access that they so desperately need, while allowing them to skip recruitment agencies and save up to 92% of their current costs. On Locum app, highly specialized clinicians can upload their resume, and they can include preferences specific to their specialties and skills so that they can get a personalized job feed where they can express interest with just one click. On the other side of the platform, employers can manage multiple facilities, including hospitals and surgery centers. They can create and manage local talent pools and access crucial credentials to get that clinician onboarded. Our two-tiered pricing model allows our clients to either pay per engagement or opt into an annual subscription of $36,000 a year. Healthcare staffing is a $26 billion industry. $6 billion is spent in our target market, and Locum app is estimated to hit a $76 million opportunity by focusing in our anesthesiology beachhead on the small to medium-sized employers who experience these pain points the most. Most staffing platforms out there are owned by recruitment agencies that charge these high margins that I spoke of earlier. Very few are focused on skipping the middleman, and only one is focused on skipping the middleman while allowing clinicians to skip recruitment agencies and access freedom and flexibility in their work lives. And that's Locum App. As a founder, I have over 10 years of subject matter expertise, and I've been able to mobilize a hugely supportive network of employees, mentors, advisors, investors, and some of them have 17 years of experience in the industry where we mean to disrupt. Last year, we conducted a nationwide pilot to identify key markets. We were able to acquire over 3,000 clinicians in anesthesiology alone and work with employers across 15 states where we generated multiple matches and placements and were able to save our clients $129,000 in the space of just about 6 months. Thank you. We are post-MVP, post-revenue, as well as just closing a pre-seed financing round. So we're officially going to market. This means that our ask today is for connections and introductions to hospital executives who are experiencing cost overruns related to staffing spending. This is me in the operating room. We're focused on anesthesiology right now because it's my wheelhouse, but these problems that I talked about today, they exist across multiple medical specialties. And as we grow, we plan to expand to address these shortages in not just anesthesiology, but emergency medicine, surgery, as well as other medical specialties. Really, what we want to do is help hospitals leave money on the table so that they and clinicians can focus on the work that matters most, and that's taking care of all of us. Here is more information if you'd like it. Please connect with me after this. I'm wearing a giant orange dress. Questions?
Yes. Thank you so much. A huge need. The opportunities are obviously endless. So you touched on it briefly, but how do you plan on expanding beyond anesthesia given so much opportunity in this space?
Yeah, great question. So has anybody here ever had anesthesia or know someone who's had anesthesia? Okay. So surgery is the backbone of revenue generation in hospitals across the country. The backbone of surgery is anesthesia. Nobody wants to get cut open without anesthesia. And so that really gives us a gateway into being able to not just handle surgical operations, but once you're in a hospital that has a surgical service, they inevitably will also have an emergency room and such. So that's sort of our Trojan horse. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Huge round of applause. Thank you.
Well done, Joy. Okay, congratulations. Awesome presentation. Now I am pleased to introduce Samu, CEO of NurseBrain. NurseBrain is a nursing platform streamlining workflows to reduce burnout and increase retention rates. Please welcome Samu to the stage.
Thank you, Ran, for the warm introduction. My name is Samu, and I am the CEO of NurseBrain. So at NurseBrain, we're contextualizing nursing resource management. $16 billion. That is how much hospitals are wasting every year due to outdated and manual nursing workflows. As a nurse with over 14 years of experience, having worked in multiple settings, including the ICU, pediatrics, and oncology, I've personally experienced how these ineffective processes lead to burnout and turnover. 2/3 of nurses experience burnout on most days. The average hospital loses 22.5% of its nursing workforce annually at a cost of $53,000 per nurse. This is not sustainable. Now, despite advances in electronic health records, nurses are still relying on a piece of paper to record patient information, share information, and coordinate care. This piece of paper contains insights on how nursing care is delivered, insights that are not captured by the electronic health record. That's why we created NurseBrain, our revolutionary digital nurse resource management platform that quantifies qualitative aspects of nursing care, in order to improve patient outcomes, increase nursing retention, and reduce hospital expenditures. For nurses, our platform, it helps them monitor their well-being. It helps them coordinate patient care using evidence-based frameworks and manage their time more efficiently. We also optimize scheduling, making sure that the right nurse is caring for the right patient at the right time. As well, we detect early signs of burnout in order to give hospitals the unprecedented ability to intervene proactively before it's too late. Over 10,000 nurses have used our platform. Thank you. And we have a really exciting hospital pilot that we're working on with a top 10 hospital. We're currently raising $500,000 to further develop our enterprise platform and refine our predictive algorithms. We're also seeking warm introductions to C-level hospital executives in order to scale our solution. Our Stanford-educated team of founders and dedicated advisors is executing on this vision daily. If you would like to join us and empower nurses to practice at the top of their license and deliver high-quality, cost-effective patient care, let's talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samu. Such a needed platform. Given the sensitivity of the information that the nurses are working with, how do you handle patient confidentiality and HIPAA compliancy?
Definitely. We take patient privacy and security of our data very seriously, which is why we have chosen Google Cloud to host our platform, to host our solution, and we encrypt data in rest and in transit.
Woo, thank you. Woo!
Well done, Samu. Thank you so much. And now we move to our next presenter. This time, please give it up for Tanika. She's the co-founder and CEO of OneClick, a personal creative AI assistant that helps you create, share, and manage your content across platforms with a simple conversation. Give it up for Tanika.
Hi everyone, I'm Tanika, co-founder of OneClick, and our mission is to help you create content with a simple conversation. At OneClick, we believe we're experiencing the greatest technological evolution right now in human history. Humans and machines are collaborating in ways we've never seen before. And soon, we won't use our computers in the ways that we're used to. Our computers will become our companions, and our lives will become more immersed in these digital spaces. That means reaching your audience online is no longer optional. It is essential for every competitive business, and that's creating a $1 trillion opportunity across these markets. But creating content right now is a nightmare. It is overwhelming, it's exhausting, it's a fragmented experience, and the current solutions are really only adding to this chaos. They're creating more software and more buttons for you to learn, and really just adding to that frustration. And so we're building a companion that handles all of that for you. OneClick is your ultimate content sidekick. It creates content, a range of content, from a simple spoken directive, like write a blog about X, so that you never start from a blank page. And it conducts research so that what you share is always trending and valuable. And we're training it to use software so that it can do those really tedious and mundane tasks for you across your personal tech stack. And our users are already creating content faster and cheaper than ever before. This small media agency creates 300 pieces of content per month, and she only spends 2 hours a day on that content. And she actually makes extra revenue by upselling content packages to her clients. And if she were to outsource that work, it would cost her over $30,000 a month and unimaginable hours. We've done the research, and we've come to find that we are virtually 100% faster and more cost-effective for for our clients. And that's why we're trusted by marketing agencies from SMBs to enterprise across Canada and the US. And so we're building this assistant with 3 really unique components. Our consumer insight engine takes internet data and it turns it into actionable insight to inform creative development. That's huge for marketing agencies. And then our internal data flywheel, that helps your assistant get to know you better so that it can improve its performance over time. And then our custom operating system helps your assistant learn to take actions on your behalf across a variety of software. We have 2 amazing distribution partnerships with marketing associations that are helping us expand into a pipeline of 800 marketing agencies, and we're expected to reach $1 million ARR within the next year. Thank you. And our team is made up of creators and marketers and engineers with decades of collective experience. And we're meeting with like-minded and visionary investors in New York and San Fran for our seed round. And we all, collectively believe that right now we are experiencing this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to really, really change the way that people engage with the digital world. And so if you're excited by that, I want you to reach out to us today, right now. But also, we just launched on Product Hunt for the first time ever, so I'd love everybody to go check us out on Product Hunt. You know what to do there, upvote. And that's it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, Tanika, for that presentation. I feel like you've already addressed one of the questions that came in your awesome presentation, but the audience wants to know a bit more about what sets OneClick apart from other AI-driven content creators in the space and tools that are currently on market.
Yeah, that's a great question because the space is relatively crowded. There's 2 things that are really important here. One is that current solutions tend to target individual creators, and that's because 2, those solutions target creating isolated pieces of content. I'll help you create one blog. I'll help you create maybe social media posts, but they don't focus on the full workflow, and that's what really contributes to that problem, that frustration, adding more software for people to learn and manage in their tech stack. And the difference here is we're building a companion. And so I want to share an analogy. It's kind of like the difference between a toolbox and Iron Man's Jarvis. And I want you to stay with me here. Iron Man, he could use a wrench to fix his suit, right? But Jarvis acts as his personal mechanic, right? Diagnosing problems, recommending solutions, and sometimes even autonomously making repairs. And so that's the difference here is we're not building a tool. We're building a companion. And I think the impact and the gravity of that concept will become more known and appreciated as this space evolves.
Thank you so much. Awesome work.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. All right, so let's keep going. I am now super excited to introduce Tony, CEO and co-founder of Civil, an online public safety platform allowing local government agencies to easily collect, manage, and report on community feedback about police officers. Please give it up for Tony.
All right. How you feeling out there? One more time, how you feeling? All right. Well, thank you to Google, all the external partners, and of course, my fellow Black founders. Wakanda forever. All right, let's get it. $3 billion. Research on only 25 of the 20,000 cities in the United States showed that they spent more than $3 billion of taxpayer money to settle police misconduct claims that impacted more than 40,000 people. I know about police misconduct firsthand. When I was 17, I was pulled over by a police officer who ran to my car and pointed a gun at my head. My first reaction was to look at my younger brother who was sitting in the passenger seat. I can still see the look of fear in his face today. The officer would tell me that he thought my car was stolen, even though it wasn't reported as such, and just issued me a traffic ticket But as we become increasingly aware over these past few years, that encounter could have ended very differently. And that's why we started Civil. Civil is a public safety software company. Our online platform helps police departments and civilian oversight agencies collect, manage, and report on feedback about police officers. This is how it works. Community members submit compliments or complaints about police officers through our online portal. Our customers then manage those cases to completion and report on the results. We are building the first national database for police conduct that will help reward officers that do good, identify officers that don't do as good, and help legislators create policies that will create safer communities for everyone. We are post-MVP, post-customer, and post-revenue. Last year, revenue increased 60%, and this year, we're on track to double both revenue and customers. We are starting with case management software as a wedge into this industry so that we can capture the more than $119 billion that state and local government agencies spend on technology each year. Case management software is the start, but as we grow, we'll roll out more products. Our team has more than 30 years of experience in both the public and private sector. I actually started my own consulting firm doing IT projects for cities. Some of those projects were for police departments, and I also did a ride-along. My co-founder is LaCory. She's our CTO that also is a computer engineer and served on the leadership team of a criminal justice software company. She also puts up with me, which is an accomplishment in itself. We are raising a $1.5 million pre-seed round and have been excited by the reaction that we've gotten from the VC community. We have 3 VCs already committed, and we're nearly oversubscribed. Shout out to Richard from Zill, as well as our portfolio buddies at Aster. But don't worry, we still have one more seat left. So if you're interested in joining this run, let's chat. We are creating a safer world for everyone and saving money along the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. Such an important topic. You talked about you're excited about your upcoming seed round, but what else is exciting you about the future of Civil?
Hiring. Look, Corey and I have been having a great time by ourselves. However, we're looking forward to expanding the team. We're currently hiring a head of sales as well as an engineering lead. So if you're interested, please reach out.
Amazing. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tony. Great job. Now we'll hear from Emmanuel, CEO of Skillbee, a career exploration platform recognizing talent beyond resumes by connecting underrepresented students, with early talent recruiters. Give it up for Emmanuel.
Awesome. You're very talented, but we can't hire you because you're not from our target university. This was the bombshell I was hit with from a managing partner at a Big 4 consulting firm over a lunch meeting. You see, in recruiting today, the problem is not the lack of talent, but the outdated hiring practices like over-reliance on resumes and aptitude assessments. These current practices fail to showcase the true insight into a candidate's potential and skill. That is why over 70% of employers struggle to identify to recruit the right talent to fill skilled entry-level positions. So, last year, we went through Techstars, and one of the things that we found out was that the majority of the companies that were very affected by these practices were actually located in Tier 2 cities such as Indianapolis, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and you can name the rest. And an interesting fact is that they generally operated in quote-unquote boring industries such as manufacturing, logistics, financial services, and the likes. One interesting fact that we found out towards the end of our research was that these companies spend over $8 billion a year, and this was on wasted time alone. My name is Emmanuel Noel, and I'm the founder and CEO of Skillbee. As a student, I experienced the challenges of companies not being able to assess my potential. Over the last 6 years, I dedicated myself to solving this problem, which led me to build career tools that were used by over 250,000 students. And I work with 200 universities to solve this problem, so shout out to that a little bit. The accumulation of my personal and professional experiences led me to building Skillbee. So let's address the elephant in the room. Skillbee is a career exploratory platform that helps students identify the right career pathway that is a good match for their skills, passion, and interest. And we help students develop and augment their skills through employer-directed challenges and match them to the right jobs. And I see you investors looking at this another LinkedIn. No, we are better. And shout out to Drake. No, Kendrick, sorry, not Drake. No. Sorry to all my Canadian friends. No Drake. We represent Kid out over here. All right. Awesome. It's a good laugh. I like it. On Skillbee, students interact with a series of experiences, and we collect a lot of behavioral data to predict the right career that we think is going to be a good match for them. And through the employer-directed challenges, students can interact with a series of experiences to augment their skills or even answer questions like, is this something that I want to do? And we're able to match them to the right jobs. On the other hand, employers can post jobs, but they can specify the specific attributes like willingness to learn, interest in the role that they think is what is needed most for that job. And based on the data we collect from the students, we can provide them better match and predictions. And one of the most interesting facts about what we do is on Skillbee, based on our processes and the way we match candidates, employers save over $2,000 per hire. But what's more impressive to me is like how fast that happens. This is 5 times faster than traditional methods. And to give an evidence of this, we work with brands such as ClickUp, MongoDB, who is a new partner, Emirates Group, to help them solve their problems. We have over 50,000 students on Skillbee, a little bit of that. And 15% of our students invite about 7 of their friends. We have grown all organically without spending $1 on marketing, which I find very impressive as well. But I want to leave you on this note. If you have ever faced any challenge with your career when you're a college student, just raise your hand in the room. I think the majority of you would say at least yes to that or know someone that has. The problem that we're solving, it's number one, very, very personal to me, but I think it's something that is a much bigger societal issue, especially when we look at the target students that Skillbee is going after, which are students from inner cities that go to community colleges and are from families that have no resource to send them to the best schools. I believe this segment of students represent the future of our economy, and they are the vulnerable population. We want to change the narrative around how companies assess talent. So if you know an HR leader, a head of DI, head of early talent, or whatnot that can benefit from our solution, please connect with me after this. You know, the cliche is, let's change the story of a student, the story of hiring one student at a time. I want to change that and say, let's change that 10,000 students at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. Well, you touched on this. Can you talk a little bit more about what a student gets from Skillbee that's very different from the other job markets and boards that are out there?
Thank you. Of course, I'm going to be very biased, but that's why I'm a founder. One of the things that we do is to not make assumptions around you know where you have to be, right? a lot of the platforms out there, these are the resources, these are jobs, come apply to those jobs. We want to tackle the problem with what I call the source, which is when you are a freshman in college or a sophomore in college, you have zero idea what you want to do. We want to help you, we want to help provide better options for you and provide environments for you to figure out, is this something that I want to do? Is this something that I can be good at? So you don't have to start making those decisions, 2 years after you graduate, where sometimes it's too late for those students. We want to start earlier so students can make better decisions. And that's ultimately going to be better for companies when you think about retention and all the likes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well done. All right, so we have reached the halfway mark of our Black Founder cohort presentations. Please give a round of applause for all the founders that we've heard from so far. So we are at the midway point. So as promised, we are going to get into a short and sweet fireside chat. We are really excited to introduce Kisa Matene, Director of Startups and AI Business within Google Cloud. And the conversation will be moderated by Paco. So Paco, Kisa, over to both of you. Woo! Woo!
Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this demo day. As Iran mentioned, thank you for being here. We have Kisa Matene. He's a Startups and AI Director at Google Cloud. He's been working with Google for some time now, leading different initiatives. So I'm super interested in exploring both hats, I would say. First, as Director for Startups and AI Business, Kisa has been at the forefront expanding Google's cloud global presence among generative AI startups, which we have a few here, but definitely super interesting for most of the things we do globally. So probably let's start with that. Can you share your personal journey and experiences that shape you into the leader you are today?
Thank you, Paco. First of all, shout out to all of you. I work with startups all day, and I'm so envious of what you're doing. I couldn't be more humbled to be working with startups. So, well done. A little bit about me. I actually really connected with what Emmanuel was saying. When I heard him talk about people from second-tier cities, I went to school in Indiana, so when he said Indianapolis, it resonated with me. I moved to the U.S. I won't date myself, but a very long time ago, in 1994. I went to a small university in Indiana, studied computer science, and when I graduated, there was a whole world that I didn't even know existed, of finance, investment banking, and right after I started working, I realized I wanted to get into that world. But of course, top-tier Wall Street firms never came to recruit. I don't know if you've heard of this school. It's called DePaul University, with a W, not with an L. And, that whole world was completely closed to me. So I moved to New York around 2000. I was working as a consultant with Accenture. I was coding. I'd studied computer science, as I said. I wasn't a very good computer scientist. So I decided to go to business school, and then this whole new world opened. And it's really unfortunate that it's, at that point, when I started seeing the doors that opened based on my business school and my network, I really began to understand that, the access to this wasn't based on whether I was talented or not. It had just been a closed world. And if you don't know about it, then it's hard to break into that. So I worked in investment banking. My background is I'm from the Congo. I was born in Uganda, so I lived around Africa growing up until I came to the U.S. And then went to business school, worked as an investment banker. during the financial crisis, moved to South Africa for the first time and spent about 15 years in EMEA working in South Africa, Nigeria, Paris, London, etc. And then found an opportunity with Google to work in this is my second team in Google. So the first team was in a group that it's called Global Strategic Initiatives. It's one of those terms that means nothing to everybody else. But basically, we worked in cloud to kind of build some of Google's largest partnerships. So one of the first deals I worked on, this is a great one that you can look up, was with a company called the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And even though I was in finance and I kind of knew about the CME, it was a new company to me for the most part. But the CME is the largest exchange in the world. And they decided that they wanted to digitally transform and take their trading platform into the cloud. And in order to do that, they wanted Google and Alphabet to also at the same time invest $1 billion in their equity, and they signed a $1 billion cloud deal with us over 10 years. So at Google, it's called a cross-PA deal, product area. So yes, it touches Google Cloud, but it also touches corporate development team, and they're responsible for investments, et cetera. And you have to kind of, herd cats together to make it all come together at the same time. And we do that type of deal, not always those types of numbers, all across Google Cloud, where we're trying to set up a partnership with an app builder, but they also want access to a Play Store, and they're going to consume some of our cloud. We always start with cloud, but then we try and see what other areas of Google we can use to bring value to the deal.
That's interesting. Actually, the Accelerator program, it's also a cross-PA program. We get support from different organizations, so totally hear you, and it's like herding cats, definitely. That's interesting. You touch likely on the challenges you faced. So I would like to explore a little bit more. What were the main challenges you faced growing up and starting to work in technology, and what advice do you have for aspiring underrepresented leaders out there?
Challenges. I think some of the challenges I had was just kind of being an outsider, not knowing, it's kind of like in high school, right? You can see the cool kids somewhere and you want to be part of that. Right. And at Google, we call that imposter syndrome. And I wish I could tell you that I've gotten over it, but I'm humble enough to say that I don't think I ever will, but that's fine. But some of the ways I've used to overcome that is first of all, just understanding that most people have imposter syndrome. It does look like the cool kids know what they're doing, but over time I've realized not a lot of us knew what we were doing a long time ago. But follow your. I hate to say it, it's a cliche, but follow your passions, and most importantly, try and build a network around you of people who you can go to in your most humbling moments, who you can speak to very candidly, and who can give you really good advice, and you can use as a soundboard to test your ideas. I've had many times, many times in my life where I've wanted to do something, and just speaking to my network, your WhatsApp group or whatever it is, has really been, has really either given me fuel to continue that path, or has made me kind of maybe step back and reassess, or given me some ideas. I'll give you one example. I used to live in Philadelphia for a while, and I was working in New York and taking the train up every day. And during that time, I was thinking about going to business school. So I applied. I was, studying my GMAT every day on the way to work. And I did my GMAT. I got a really good score. And then for about 10 seconds, I thought, maybe I'll take the LSAT and also go to law school while I'm doing this. And I remember my board of directors is what I call them. telling me, you know what, just pump the brakes for a second right there. And ultimately, that was the right decision, given the amount of work I had to do at business school, et cetera, et cetera. But if you don't have, it's hard enough kind of navigating this, especially American corporate culture, by yourself. But if you don't have people who can tell you, actually, you should explore that opportunity, you should do that. And a lot of us come from backgrounds where we don't. A side story, my father was a professor of linguistics, super educated. He couldn't tell you a thing about tech or finance.
Right.
It's no knock on him, but and the world is constantly changing. So, make sure that you're keeping up with the times and surrounding yourself with people who can at least, who can give you good counsel when you need it.
I love that advice, and actually I think that's a great segue into the next topic. You're part of the Black Leadership Advisory Group at Google, and tell us a little bit more about the group and its mission, and probably what are some of the key initiatives and accomplishments that the group has done.
So one of the things that BLAG, which is what it's called, is for directors and VPs at Google who identify as Black. This group was set up, in the early 2010s, and one of the initiatives it's done is to kind of, the biggest initiative it's had is to kind of increase hiring and inclusivity at Google of underrepresented minorities. We get together, we support a lot of, BGN, the Black Googler Network, and other ERGs, employee resource groups, looking to increase hiring, looking to make sure that compensation is fair, et cetera, et cetera. So you can look up the BGN report and the diversity and inclusion report on our website, but it's done amazing work, I think, over the last, especially since kind of 2016. I don't think we're where we want to be yet, but certainly, I think they've had a lot of success. I've worked in different parts of the world, and especially in the United States, their accomplishments here have been impressive. Hiring has more than doubled, and hiring has increased substantially, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Black leadership that kind of, we're able to help identify and show, the rest of the industry and Alphabet more specifically about the areas where they could spend more time, creating a Black Founders Fund, funding Black startups and other underrepresented minority startups, et cetera. So it's a great resource. It's been a great resource for me and for most of the Black Google network.
I know it is, and I love the initiative, so congratulations for that. And probably let's move to the startups and AI.
Sure.
Now let's talk business. What are your thoughts on the current landscape of startups and AI?
So I started this role, as I was saying, this is my second role at Google so far. And I started about, let's say, 14 months ago. So the GSI team, we would look at kind of AI startups, but on an ad hoc basis as they came in. We weren't really focused on them. And early on, we had, there's one particular startup we worked with that wanted, they wanted revenue, they wanted to be kind of integrated into Workspace, and we worked out a deal where we were going to give them a lot of these benefits and they were going to come onto the cloud. And we thought we were there, and I've never seen this before, but they turned us down at the end, and we said, what do you want, from Alphabet? What can we do to get you over the line? And they just said nothing, which is, it blew my mind. So anyway, we realized that we needed to do something more focused and targeted, and we set up a Startups and AI business. The name is really, anyway, it's one of those things at Google. The way team names get put together is hilarious. So anyway, we started a focused team that would go after startups. I don't know if you've heard of Anthropic, Hugging Face, Mistral, etc. partner with them, bring them into our model garden, provide them with the infrastructure they need, provide them with whatever other XPA benefits they're looking for in order to take off. So that's basically what I've been focused on for the last 15 months. We've had incredible growth. I mean, our Q1 was fantastic, as you may have seen in our annual report. And if you see a lot of kind of what's happening at NVIDIA yesterday, we're very closely linked with that in buying a lot of those GPUs, putting them together for startups. I worked with a startup that came out of stealth that does a text to audio. It's called Udio. Very, they're using our TPUs, etc. You should check it out and try and use it. But I think we're just scratching the surface today. A lot of the use cases are, the way I try to put it in perspective is, it's 1998 and you just got a Nokia phone.
Okay.
That's where we are in the AI world. It's going to move quick, but when you got that phone, you couldn't tell
what was going to happen.
That 20 years later, the things we'd be doing on our phones today with apps and so on. So it's still early days, but there's a lot of real enterprise use cases that are being put to use, businesses that are being created today that I can't wait to see what they'll do. And it's more than just the chat GPTs, right? It's personal co-pilots that help you organize your information, right. Speaking to your phone and asking, where did I park my car? It's exciting, but I think we're just at the beginning. So.
I agree, and actually we've seen here a couple of personal assistants for creating content and other stuff. So in terms of the immediate opportunities and challenges these companies are facing, what is out there and what is to be expected probably in the next year maybe? So
one of the use cases that in AI that I've seen that personally excites me, but is also kind of terrifying, is a lot, we've worked with like consulting companies, investment banks, etc., who want to have a way to kind of build their own LLMs using their very confidential internal data. Right. So for example, when I came out of business school, I was an associate, and I would work with a managing director and put together a pitch and go and pitch a particular customer, for example. And I was kind of, if you think about what I was doing, I was looking at all the previous pitches we'd done. I was trying to craft a story using those. I was getting new information, updating that, checking it, making sure it was accurate. As smart as I think I was, a lot of that could now be done by AI, by a generative AI tool. If you think about, when companies buy other companies and there's a data room where they do due diligence and review all the contracts. Today, you have to pay, BCG or any consulting firm, $400, $500 an hour, for hundreds of hours. And it's very time consuming, but it's true. But a lot of these tasks from an enterprise level eventually will be automated. Now, you still need a human to check, etc. And in the beginning, that'll be, of course, very important so that you don't have hallucinations and so on. But a lot of tasks like that, I think AI will reduce the amount of human intervention that's required. Then another deal I'm working on now is with a company that allows you to build an app by speaking to an agent. Okay. Now, it doesn't get you all the way there, but a lot of apps, as it says, are, reuse. It's like a lot of the Lego blocks that go into an app, 80% of them are the same. And then there's just a little bit of customization at the end. So it's very cool.
I love it. And we are getting close to the end of the panel. So maybe I will invite you to share some advice and recommendations for all of the founders and developers out there now in the Gen AI era.
Yeah. I don't think I can advise any founders to anything. If I was smart enough to be a founder, I'd be a founder and not be where I'm sitting right now. So, shout out to you. I have such admiration for founders and, building new businesses. I mean, the only thing I would think of is, I see founders who have, one of the ways we work is we work with VCs, and they'll bring the founders to us. And, without aging myself, these founders are, late 20s, early 30s, but they absolutely believe in their idea. And I think you need to just, yes, you can have imposter syndrome in the back of your head, but you're in the right place. You're doing, you have to believe in your mission. And there's no reason why your idea cannot be the next Anthropic, the next OpenAI, et cetera. The difference between those founders that I see who have all that funding and not is, they just have incredible belief in themselves. And I know that's hard to sometimes manifest, if for lack of a better word. But, I think that the difference is, you start an idea, you have a use case, somebody else comes and disrupts it. You don't pack your bags and go home, right? You just need to all right, pivot and keep pivoting. And I've seen this in one CEO who crashed spectacularly. But investors have come back to him because they recognize that it's not, if the particular path that you're on doesn't work, it doesn't mean, if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you just need to you just need to keep charging on. I give this example all the time. Amazon, Amazon was for most people, it's a retail company that does delivery, but zero of its value comes from that. Amazon stumbled into this industry called cloud, and that's where all of its revenue, if you look at the Amazon revenue line, almost all of its profits come from cloud. And I'm super, they created an industry we're, kind of like a challenger status, but doing very well in AI. But, cloud wouldn't have existed if Amazon didn't have to build all these data centers, all of these, all of this infrastructure that used to sit around idle, right. And then they decided to rent it out. So, and in all that time, Amazon, the valuation of Amazon, for example, is all in the cloud, right? The retail business does 1% margin or something like that. So I think just kind of, and these investors are looking for people who, and I think what they're looking for is, okay, I get your idea, it's great, but they want to find out, will you, when this idea fails, will that knock you out, or will you just, kind of pat yourself down and keep going? And that's the most important thing.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kisa. And with that, let's continue our demo day. Please give a warm applause to Kisa.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kisa, for that insightful discussion. Now, we're going to continue with our presentations. Up next, it is my pleasure to introduce Fifi and Laila, CEO and Chief Medical Officer of Aster. Their technology enables women's health practices to manage, grow, and scale, and improve clinical outcomes. Please give it up for Fifi and Laila.
Baby. You miss mommy.
This is my son, Issa. He was 7 minutes old in this video. He had had 7 minutes of resuscitation, and he nearly didn't make it. This was as a result of complications of my pregnancy that went undetected. I had undiagnosed preeclampsia, a crash cesarean section, and this is not just a story, that is mine. In the US, Black women are 3 times more likely to die than white women due to complications of pregnancy. The US has the highest rate of maternal mortality compared to all high-income countries, and 84% of these complications are completely avoidable. There are providers out there that can make this change, but women's health providers are struggling to stay open and struggling to run their clinics. They do not have the tools to be able to do this, but that's where we come in.
I'm Fifi. This is Dr. Layla Kara-Newton, and we're sisters. So we came together to solve this problem. A little bit about our backgrounds. I formerly led design for health and fitness at Meta, and Layla is an OB-GYN resident physician who spent most of her career helping other people start their own families. So we're Asta, and we extend the capabilities of women's health providers. We have built an AI-powered ecosystem that enables providers and patients to improve their health. One of the ways that this happens, and I'll show you, is by doing this. In this example, you have Cynthia, who is the patient, and Jordan, the provider, a midwife. Here, the midwife is instructed, based on some symptoms that have been reported, that she should do a urinalysis test at home, something that can detect protein in the urine, anything like that. And in Layla's case, would have been the decision factor that helped her not have the emergency C-section. Here, Cynthia is able to upload her urinalysis test strip. It's sent directly to the provider, and she can instantly receive results or some next steps. On the provider side, we have a completely integrated tool that helps them manage women's health. You can see here that she can track the blood pressure over time, and she can do everything from note-taking, charting, streamlined billing, all in one tool. There is nothing else like this on the market, specifically designed for women's health providers, making patients safer and making providers more efficient. We are live, we're in market, and we're growing rapidly. So since January, we've grown 30% month on month, and we're currently in 10 states. So, thank you. One of the features I showed you, or one of the features that you saw, was the streamlined charting and note-taking, specifically for women's health. That feature alone has grown 1,100% since January. As well as that, we've seen a 25% reduction on admin time for providers so that they can spend that time focused on critical clinical care instead. Again, that would have helped in Layla's case. Below, you see some pictures of us with some of our customers. And just yesterday, we met with Mariam Health and Wellness, one of the New York-based birth centers, and we had lunch with them. This is a huge opportunity for us. The global EHR market is worth $52 billion. For the US, it's $39 billion. And this niche that we've carved out for ourselves, which no one else is currently in or successful in right now, is worth $2 billion. As well as that, we're seeing a huge increase in people taking up the role of becoming women's health providers. That's midwives, nurses, doulas even. Right now, it's around about 90,000. And by 2030, it'll be 120,000. So we're capitalizing on that. So, late last year, we raised $2.4 million. Shout out to Richard Odior from Zeal, who's in the audience as well. And we actually plan to close a second round late this year. As well as that, you can see we have a very small but mighty team. Some of them are in the room here as well. So if you're interested in learning more about Asta from myself or Layla, please come and find us afterwards. Thank you so much.
Thank you both so much. Very inspiring when you can turn a tragedy into a solution, so thank you. The industry can be slow moving. So how do you encourage clinicians to switch away from whatever their kind of legacy and incumbent tools are to a solution like Aster?
Yeah. Well, women's health we know is completely underserved and underfunded. And providers are actively seeking tools to not only increase their efficiency, but increase their revenue. And they're also trying to improve their patient outcomes. We've seen providers looking for solutions that actually improve the technology, that offer them more flexibility to reduce burnout, and they're coming to us. We have wait lists coming to Asta, so we're very excited about that.
Amazing. Thank you both. Big
you.
round of applause,
Thank you.
everybody.
Awesome. Well done. Well done. Okay. So now I am super excited to introduce Shana from Envy, an AI-powered tool enabling consumers to digitally manage their belongings, transforming these assets into investable assets, allowing them to have lifetime value and promoting circular compensation. Woo! Woo!
Thank you so much. All right. Hello, guys. All right. Envy. Oh, sorry. I think I went too far. All right. So either way, the notes are gone, but whatever. I'm Shana Vieira, CEO and founder of Envy. Envy is a platform that transforms how consumers and retailers are tracking, valuing, and reselling products. My journey into tech began in civil engineering, boring, where I managed equipment across the region and across our various project sites. Civil engineering, large infrastructure projects, large equipment. I was able to use inventory management software to really be able to track the products, save time, save money, and then eventually I got so into it that I started to predict the value of these products, or actually predict the longevity of these products over time. Now, I like fashion, and I was in engineering. So as a woman in engineering, there are not many of us. So inventory management software was my friend. And I started to think about shows that inspired me as a kid. Clueless Closet, or Clueless was a movie, but the Clueless Closet is the thing that we all love. And the Jetsons, which was automated home, just kind of like euphoria. I mean, the Jetsons cartoon really just helped me to see a world in which automated homes and homes with technology built into everyday lives really could mean. So I really saw the transformative value of inventory management software, being able to track products, being able to see, because we all have inventories in our personal lives. And so these products, like the Chanel bag, they have value. And as I started to really dive into what it meant, or how we track and manage belongings, and my desire to create a more sustainable world, I realized that the supply chain was broken. And so we are now consumers, 82% of millennials and Gen Zs look at products that they purchase with an eye to resell. So retail is transforming, and we need to really start to use technology to be able to support consumers' everyday lives, so that we can make it easier, much more efficient, and much more robust, the same way that we do for enterprises with inventory management software. And the shift in the consumer mindset has really catapulted the resale industry into a $355 billion market, growing 10 times faster than retail, or traditional retail. Today, our relationships with items have changed, and it's really turning everyday purchases into investable assets, because we're thinking about, oh, when I go to buy this bag, I know I'm going to resell it later. So this Chanel bag has increased in value by 91% since 1990. That has basically done better than the S&P 500 for over a decade. So it's not just retail therapy. It's an investment. Okay? But if we don't know the value, we lose it. And consumers lack efficient tools to be able to manage these things, as I said. And despite advances in e-commerce, now we have resale. We're sitting in the middle between retail and resale, and we're still managing our things physically. So this is me. I have a lot of stuff. And I'm not unlike many of you, I'm sure. In your garage, you have a lot of stuff, or attic or closet, whatever. And it leads to a lot of financial and environmental waste for both consumers and retailers. We need to efficiently track and manage the life cycle and value of our purchases. Meanwhile, for consumers, it's an issue. For retailers, they have supply chain management tools and inventory management tools, but retailers are losing $164 billion every year in overproduction. And that's really because they don't know what the consumers want or what the consumers have. So there's a huge disconnect there. And not only that, but they're being squeezed by sustainability efforts and new ESG-related regulations. Those things are coming down the pike. We are going to be required to recirculate our goods. But the current tools are inadequate and disconnected. Envy leverages advanced AI to bridge the gap in the digital integration between consumers, products, and services, creating a cohesive and efficient product experience. Our platform offers real-time tracking of item values, a visual catalog for easy reference, and seamless connections to maintenance services and resale marketplaces. Our secure cloud-based platform ensures that all products have purchase details, including photos, market values, and they're readily accessible on any device. So you can go anywhere and not stress about, oh my God, I have to clean out my closet. You could do it on your phone. Oh no, I have to post these things for sale. You could do it from your phone in one click. Envy also delivers crucial post-purchase data to retailers, streamlining inventory control and helping with sustainability goals. We also tap into this changing mindset of consumers, as I mentioned, by simplifying connections between retail and resale platforms as a middleware software. We stack large language models in order to move the product data from at the point of purchase through the consumer experience, maintenance, sharing with friends, to resale, and then beyond resale. What is the next life cycle of that product and the next life cycle of that product after that? So since launching, Envy has attracted over 6,500 customers. We are proud of that. Thank you. Those 6,500 customers are managing over 150,000 items on our platform today. And that's just on iOS. We're launching in the Google Play Store, as well as the next updated version on iOS. This demonstrates a robust market traction, or our robust market traction, and a demand for efficient inventory software. Over 200,000 searches a month. Yeah. Wow. There are over 200,000 searches a month on Google for inventory management software. 200,000. 55 million Evernote users use Evernote just to inventory their home, for insurance, for financial and wealth management, to figure out what they need for estate sales or estate planning. So we can do that. And as we continue to grow, we plan to build out integrations for automated insurance. We've already had discussions with AIG, provide predictive data to retail to curb overproduction, and advance truly circular consumer economies. Having already established partnerships, as I mentioned, with with Shopify and eBay, we are scaling through additional retail partnerships, strategic collaborations with insurance, and really targeted marketing campaigns to teach consumers that buying something that might be a little bit more better quality has the resale value that they're looking for to recoup some of that revenue. Or, like the Chanel bag that I mentioned or showed, appreciate in value over time. We're raising $2.5 million in capital to expand our AI capabilities and enhance our platform to meet evolving regulatory systems like ESGs. If you're interested in clean tech, retail tech, or supply chain innovations, come and find me. I'm in the big green dress, green for money. And also green for envy, green for sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for walking us through Envy. You touched a bit on your background and original inspiration, but can you tell us a bit more about what inspired you to create some of the specific solutions within Envy?
Yeah, absolutely. What I realized when I was kind of, first, it was just about clothing. And I was focused on my closet and thinking about Clueless Closet, and that was the inspiration. And I surveyed over 1,500 customers here in New York on the streets. And what they told me was that they have a hard time managing all their stuff. They're buying things. Millennials are now the fastest growing, or the largest, actually, economic power right now. And we're buying homes, we're buying art, we're investing in all these things, but we don't really understand that value. And that has real implications for insurance if something happened, for estate planning, as I mentioned, and for financial wealth and management planning. So I really wanted to bring the Jetsons to life, not only because it frees up our time and our stress. It decreases stress. As we know, Marie Kondo told us to keep things that only give us joy. And for sustainability, because we have to stop kind of putting so much pressure on our environment and be able to reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shanna. And now, please join me in welcoming Darius, CEO of Opos, leading provider of cybersecurity compliance solutions and IT audit preparation activities. Please give it.
Thank you, Paco. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Darius Rose, co-founder of Opos. Our AI platform revolutionizes regulatory compliance for small businesses, ensuring adherence to key regulatory frameworks like NIST RMF 2.0, the EU AI Act, as well as SOC 2, GDPR, and other ISO-related compliance frameworks. See, the businesses are lost today in a regulation maze that face hefty fines and increased standards. There's a need for a streamlined, efficient compliance process has never been more critical. We simplify compliance leveraging AI. In fact, last year, Meta paid $1.3 billion in fines to the EU regulators for privacy violations. That, compounded with the new 270 legislations coming down the pipes across the world, and 91% of companies facing stricter rules for compliance, our solution keeps companies compliant and ahead of the curve. Opos offers compliant AI solutions addressing key pain points with over 60 years of collective CISO experience. We safeguard businesses from data breaches and non-compliance penalties. Our NLP engine simplifies compliance surveys. Upload your latest survey, answer a few more onboarding questions, and you're done, saving hours with enterprise-level compliance services and products made easy. At Opos, we're democratizing cybersecurity and compliance for small to medium businesses, making it accessible and affordable. We focus on innovative healthcare and small to medium businesses, even targeting large enterprises, not as an MSP or managed service provider, but as a compliance and cyber expertise. We leverage our team's experience from companies like Think Research, Swift Medical, Ford Motor Company, FedEx, IBM, Equifax, General Motors, Lenovo, and Deloitte. We have the right team, expert advisors, including cybersecurity industry veterans, as well as leaders in product design and legal. We're poised to dominate the compliance market. With a $214 billion addressable market, our focus on data privacy, risk, and compliance, we are positioned to capture a significant market share. The market is set to grow rapidly by 2025. Our market traction, we've already made significant strides with over 45 companies and access to an additional 100 Opos existing customers and resellers. In 2023, we made over $1 million in revenue with our US and Caribbean operations. Thank you. With our US and Caribbean operations growing exponentially. This, compounded with our existing customers and our partnerships with Google, Microsoft, Accenture, the Canadian federal government, the Ontario provincial government, as well as our partners in the House, our first institutional investors, Morgan Stanley. Opos is set to dominate the global compliance landscape. Our market growth plan leverages our MSP and MSSP relationships, our existing customer base, and our expansion in the Caribbean, Europe, and the United States. With our strategic partnerships, our proven track record, Opos is poised for substantial growth and market leadership. Our pricing model offers bronze, silver, and gold plans starting at $1,300 a month, including increasing features and user licenses. Each tier includes a compliance framework like SOC 2 with additional access to NIST AI frameworks that not a lot of people are considering today, as well as HIPAA and human-in-the-loop audit support for your next audit service. This makes us both accessible and valuable for businesses of all size and scale. We transform compliance for small to medium-sized businesses with audit-ready solutions, human-in-the-loop expertise, and speeding up compliance and reducing staff needs, making us the optimal choice for compliance management. Oops. We're focused on scaling globally, expanding into new markets, and becoming the market leader in simplified GRC compliance, leveraging compliant artificial intelligence solutions that are actually attested to by our auditing partners. We seek investment to fuel our growth, accelerate our go-to-market strategy, acquire customers globally, and enhance our product suite with even more advanced AI capabilities. Why invest in us? Invest in us for our proven track record, our innovation focus, our obsession with customer satisfaction. We are ready to lead the charge in simplifying regulatory compliance. Thank you for considering Opos today. We're excited about the future, and we invite you all to be a part of our journey in transforming the compliance landscape with Reg AI. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. You mentioned your expansion plans, which is very exciting. Given the complexity of compliance in different places, how does Opos plan to scale its solutions to meet large market demands or adapt to different market segments?
Awesome. Thank you for the question. That's a great question. Actually, we recently have hired a development team from ex-BlackBerry developers. So the team that put together the BlackBerry Messenger, if everybody remembers that, are actually building out our new product. And that's exactly how we'll scale. And we also, I started in healthcare, and that's one of the most regulatory constrained industries, but I've made it almost an art, not a science, and I'm able to apply that now across most industries and geographies.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you, thank you. Fellow Canadian from Toronto. Shout out Toronto. All right, so up next, we're going to hear from Carolyn, CEO of Productions.com. Productions.com is a talent solution that connects brands to locally vetted freelance and full-time production talent, saving time and money in the process. Carolyn, please join me on stage.
I'm Carolyn Pitt, the founder and CEO of Productions.com. We help corporate brands, production companies, and live event venues to find locally sourced production talent wherever they're creating productions. As an intellectual property and entertainment attorney with over 20 years in the industry, I've experienced significant inefficiencies. The production industry is incredibly broken. Production crosses a wide variety of areas, and production happens everywhere. And sourcing great talent is a challenge everywhere. We started our work within film and TV production because the industry wastes $90 billion each year importing talent from LA and New York to other production hubs. And 83% of movies are filmed outside of LA and New York. However, production heads are actually flying the talent in because the cost of hiring inexperienced talent is way too high. We then expanded to working with corporate brands and live events because they struggle with the same thing and have the same issues. Brands and their ad agency partners have a difficult time sourcing talent as well due to shortages and high costs. And live event venues have ongoing production talent needs on a massive scale. Production talent is the backbone of the industry, yet they find it extremely challenging to find consistent local work. Productions are short-term in nature, so that means there's a never-ending need to find that next job. And existing job boards, they're not effective because they're not built for this industry. In fact, most production folks tell us that they don't use LinkedIn because it is inflexible and doesn't allow them to highlight that creative experience and their capabilities. And that's where Productions.com comes in. We have created an AI-native talent solution that connects these heads of production to the local talent in their market that we have already qualified, vetted, and curated for them. And the talent are visiting our site for access to curated jobs on our job board. They can also be hand-selected behind the scenes for opportunities. We make it easy for the parties to connect on our platform. We also provide a payment gateway. And now, the talent are able to showcase their capabilities and their creative experience and their sizzle reels in searchable profiles that really bring that experience to life. Dynamic dashboards enable the brands to be able to source and hire candidates quickly and easily. All kinds of brands need production support. We recently partnered with a UK-based client who was doing their first production right here in Times Square. It was a large award show. They didn't have any connections stateside here in the US. They found out about Productions.com and they reached out to us. We were able to connect their team within 3 days to a stellar line producer. She became their eyes and ears on the ground for 3 months, working with them closely all the way up to production day, and she produced the event with a crew that we sourced locally as well. We're already serving over 40 clients across the US and the UK, and we know how to, thank you, how to win, onboard them, and delight them with quick access to talent, which is also saving them on the per diem travel and housing costs that they would incur if they imported the talent. And we have global reach. Our talent community now spans the United States, Canada, and 30 additional countries. And it includes talent that is ready to work in freelance and full-time production roles. We've experienced impressive growth year over year, even with the strikes last year, 2 of them, that spanned the industry and halted productions for 6 months. Our revenue model generates revenue on every single talent placement, and we do this by charging brands a brokered fee, which is based upon the candidate's day rate or her annual salary. And we're unlocking 3 new exciting business lines this year, including our AI production planner, which is going to be powered by Google's very own Gemini Flash. Our leadership team is purpose-built and positioned to rock this market. In addition to law, my background includes management consulting, business development, strategy, and C-suite talent placement. Our CTO is incredible. He's a full-stack engineer who previously built product for a cybersecurity powerhouse. And our CMO is amazing. She previously managed marketing and media for major brands, including Time Inc. We're raising our seed, and we're doing it so that we can accelerate our product, our user, and our customer growth. And we are seeking to make sure we're working with even more visionary investors. You can see some of our investors already on the screen. So we're looking for strategic partners as well who want to come along on the ride as we aggressively capture the market share and scale and grow. Productions.com is a great investment in one of the most bankable industries in the world. We've de-risked this investment with our traction and our incredible momentum. I look forward to telling you more about our growth trajectory after this, or feel free to reach out. Thanks.
Thank you so much for that, Carolyn. Such a huge solution to a huge problem. You talked about your upcoming seed round.
Yes.
What types of investors are you looking for? Are you looking for investors with industry experience, or tell us a bit more about who you want to partner with?
Yeah, thank you for that great question. So industry experience is helpful, but not necessary. This is, as I mentioned, one of the most bankable industries in the world, $2.1 trillion industry with lots of needs globally. And so for us, it's important that our investors are mission aligned, believe in the team, and also that they're interested in generating a lot of revenue, a lot of profits. So if that's you, come talk to us.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you, Caroline. Awesome. Please join me in welcoming our second to last team. We are very close to the end. Please give a warm welcome to Emmanuel. He's the CEO of Robo MUA, a computer vision AI company building inclusive datasets, predictive and generative AI for models for all skin shades.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emmanuel again, and I'm excited to share the amazing work we've been able to accomplish over the course of 10 weeks, being a part of the Google for Black Founders Accelerator program. At Whiteshade, we are building predictive and generative AI algorithms, like we mentioned earlier. Back in 2017, global superstar Rihanna, she revolutionized the beauty industry by making sure that the shades that the beauty companies were doing at that time were expanded, right? So she introduced inclusion in a different way for the beauty industry. And what that did was show us that the human skin is very complex, and the beauty companies were not addressing the complexity of that skin shade, right? Human skin has depth. Human skin has undertones. And at that time, the beauty industry was not fully addressing that. But you're probably looking at this image and thinking, okay, maybe inclusion, AI, this is probably a black people problem. No matter who you are, under all lighting and weather conditions, your skin shows up differently. You have undertones that allow you to show up very differently, again, in cameras, in lighting, and all weather conditions. At Whiteshade.ai, we believe that data and AI can help solve this particular problem, right? We are teaching computer vision to see all human skin shades all the time. And we're doing this with our 10 million inclusive custom data set. This data set was built with beauty makeup artists and estheticians and is well labeled for 100 skin shades. And with that data set, we're able to build both predictive and generative algorithms on top of that. These algorithms empower B2B brands like Nude Bar, which is serving the nude shapewear industry through our APIs, web integrations, and third-party integrations like Shopify. In addition to that, we are able to service direct consumers, with an example being our co-founder who was able to leverage this particular, our mobile app to find the right skin shades for her beauty pageantry. We have a mobile app, a web app, and a Google Chrome extension. And through these 10 weeks, we launched Aisha. Aisha is a multimodal LLM agent that is enabling users to directly communicate with an LLM for all their beauty needs and concerns. It includes both textual, video, and also audio integrations for, yes. And with that, over these 10 weeks, we've been able to increase our accuracy of our models from 53% to 87% using the resources we were provided by Google. Aisha, like you talked about, was able to have over 3,500 conversations, and we added a new B2B customer, again, over the course of these 10 weeks. If you attended NVIDIA GTC, you probably saw us demonstrate some of our algorithms this year. If you are going to be attending CVPR, we are going to be demoing some of our computer vision algorithms as well too. And our CTO was awarded an international award. So again, over the course of these 10 weeks. So we've been very, very productive. What sets us apart, right? There are other competitors in this space, but as anyone in AI knows, that your data is what sets you apart. And our computer vision data set, our inclusive data set of 100 skin shades, we believe is what really does set us apart. With an amazing team of experienced engineers and also designers and product managers, we are bringing this to life. We are closing out our 250K angel round, and our ask is to have meetings with if you're a developer working in the human skin shade or inclusive data sets, please come speak with us. If you know any beauty brands who are indie, please come speak with us as well too. We would love to connect, so get in touch with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Also, Aisha is probably my favorite product name I've heard in a long time, so congrats to you all. Can you talk a bit more about competitors in this space and how you stand out from them?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of the competitors in this space, like I mentioned, are trying to build these algorithms for human skin shades, right? So it's a problem, not just the competitors I showed, but platforms like even YouTube are trying to figure out, hey, how do we identify human skin shades to recommend products to? But what we have that we believe is our competitive advantage is our data set. Like this data set has been carefully curated, it's inclusive, it was built with industry leaders with all human skin shades in mind under all lighting conditions. And upon that, we can build multiple AI algorithms. And that I believe is our competitive advantage.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, last but certainly not least, we have our last presentation from the Black Founders cohort. So please help me give a warm welcome to Khaled David, CEO of TrackFlow. TrackFlow is an online marketplace, an online platform that allows contractors to track all project costs in a mobile app and make real-time financial decisions. Please join me on stage.
How you all doing? We're TrackFlow, and we're revolutionizing fintech for construction. So who here has done a kitchen or bathroom renovation? Did you run into construction traffic on your way here? Who's planning on building a she shed or man cave? Right, we're all builders in some sense, and if you've ever done a building project, you know it often starts at one price and ends up at another price. And if you're building a tower in Midtown Manhattan, you deal with the same challenges, just in tens of millions of dollars. At TrackFlow, we built a mobile platform that allows contractors to track and put and manage project costs in real time, saving them time and money. And we did amazing things. We helped contractors increase their revenue by sorting that paperwork that would get lost, or get paid much faster by updating stakeholders in real time, or even saving that administrative time away from email and Excel. And the industry is ripe for disruption. Construction is the second least digitized industry in the nation, and it is growing at 7% year over year. There's already $11 billion in construction software spend and $300 billion globally. And we're excited. We've already worked with some top construction companies, and we've been on some amazing projects right here in New York, including the Google headquarters just downtown. In fact, I have the hard hat. To prove it. And with that, we've been helping contractors make real-time financial decisions. Over the past year, we've processed over $40 million in contracts alone, and we've helped contractors access around $2 million in loans to keep their projects on time and on budget. But now, with the help of Google AI, we're bringing this level of insight to everyday builders like me and you. With our AI assistant, a contractor can simply describe work, finish floors on 5th floor, just say what task needs to be done. Let's say I need 6 guys and 2 laborers, and then ultimately the material needs to use sheetrock and some drywall. And our AI will tell you the exact costs associated with that. This can then update real-time decision makers with project costs. Now, I'm not talking about speech to text. I'm talking about if you can describe the work, we can give you the cost for that work. Now, I'm a 3rd-generation builder who's been on job sites since the age of 12. I've assembled a team as diverse as the projects we served. My co-founder, Jake, we've worked together over 10 years, and we met while at Turner Construction working on innovation projects. We have a collection of over 35 years of software and development experience, and we've won competitions at major institutions around this country. We're here to announce that we're here to announce that we're launching our $3 million seed investment round in order to bring this technology to everyday builders like you. We already have amazing investment partners like Mac Ventures, Serena Ventures, and Metaprop, but we're looking for our next set of investors who's going to take the show on the road. And there's more. As part of our commitment to everyday builders, we are launching a campaign called Build for America, where we want to preserve a part of our round for builders like you, so that you too can be a part of this wave of innovation that's happening in construction, and that the next project you do, that you'll always have the financial tools to make real-time decisions. I'm Khalid David.
Wow, thank you so much. As the daughter of a construction worker, I can't wait to go home and show my dad this. It's going to be jazzed. Can you tell us a bit more? You touched on it, but can you tell us a bit more about the Build for America initiative and why your company is choosing this path?
So the reason why we're choosing Build for America is because construction is not simply a bunch of top E&R companies. It's everyday contractors, mom and pop shops, local folks who need access to this technology and also need to have a vested interest in using it. We want to create local hubs of building communities who now proliferate our product in those local markets and keep it strategic. But there's one more thing. The story of TrackFlow has always been a very public story. Every time we've raised capital, we've done it in a very visual, public way. And we believe at the core, that is the story of America. See, the Black founders who are in here today, we already represent 1% of the market. And in that, sometimes we have to take matters into our own hands. When formal institutions tell us no, we find ways to make it happen. And Build for America gives all of us an opportunity to say yes. To say yes to the future of great American enterprises by investing in Black founders who do whatever it takes to advance an industry they love. So won't you join me?
Woo!
Won't you join me in the booth outside, and we'll love to have any conversation. We're looking for our next set of investors. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. This is for us.
What a way to close us out.
Woohoo! Thank you so much. And with that, we've reached the end of the Black Founders Demo Day. Congratulations to the 13 founders we've heard from. I hope you all are as inspired and excited as I am.
So while we've concluded our Black Founders Demo Day presentations, we will be back in 1 hour, so 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, to hear from 15 remarkable women founder companies from our 2024 cohort.
Yep, please take a break, grab some lunch, coffee, or catch up on emails, and we'll see you back in 1 hour. If you're joining us virtually, please check out the calendar invite in the Women Founders live stream link. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.
We'll see you in an hour. Thanks, y'all. Sure. Oh, hang on, let's make sure the stream is off. Do you want to call them up for a group shot?